Well, you guys, as you can tell in my usual style that I do things, I go over the top about these Spider-Man movies. And if for those of you who are new, hello. This is yours truly, Master Ryo Sakurai, my good friend Daniel, who's on um, call with me. And it's high time we talked about this. This is the movie review for Spider-Man Far From Home. And let me lift these goggles up. All right. But yeah, overall, because we usually do like a first little overall summary about this movie. I want to know your thoughts about it, Daniel.
Yeah, I definitely really enjoyed this one. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say it's better than Homecoming. I would say they're on par with each other. So, but yeah, I really did enjoy this and have had a lot of fun with it. And I just saw it for a second time last night. So yeah, I really did like it. There are a lot of things to enjoy about it, and I'll definitely definitely say this that I think it's definitely one of my favorites so far this year. So, and I'm really looking forward to discuss it further as far as things I liked about it, things I didn't. So, but yeah, I really did like this one. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now. I love this movie. I honestly do.
Mm,
And in my point of view, I think it's better than Homecoming was because okay, for one, you can only do but so much with the Vulture, because the
yeah,
Vulture is basically they basically just got him right. He's an old man who is just stealing shit. That's
yeah,
the only thing that we know about Vulture.
yeah,
He's an average, the common burglar, except the fact that he just obtained the powers of flight and whatnot,
yeah,
and was able to control birds. Other than that, that's the Vulture in a nutshell. So
yeah.
so so when you do that, okay, that was I mean, it was good that we got to see him, and we got a little more detail about him. He had a family and everything. But with
Yeah.
this, the
Yeah.
reason why this movie did so good is because of what they did with Mysterio.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, for those of you who thought that they weren't gonna have Mysterio be a villain in this,
Mm.
obviously did not know Mysterio at all, because this man, um, um, what's his
It,
name? Something Beck,
Quentin Beck, and
Quentin Beck.
yeah, and he was a special effects guy, and he, at least from the comics perspective, was a special effects guy, and his whole shtick is basically that he is a master of illusions.
Actually, you know
So
what? Hold up, because I have the freaking God book right here. I just
yeah,
remembered that I have the freaking God book. That's why I bought this thing.
yeah,
All
mm,
right, so let's look this up. For those of you who do not understand,
mm,
let me see if I can find it real quick,
mm,
because it's in here. By God, I'm
yeah.
telling you, it's in here.
Yeah, and I can say this much: I've always wanted to see Mysterio in a Spider-Man film. So
Oh
for
my God, me too.
yeah, and I'm really glad that we finally got him. And what it really helps it for my from my perspective is also that they got a really good actor to do him. I mean, and 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 of course, I think they did a lot of good things with him, and I really like the costume. So, but I'll get into that.
Bro, his costume was perfect. Okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
Mysterio. This is, as y'all can see, is right here. This is the biography about him. More
Mm,
than one man is worth the mantle of the Master of Illusion, known as Mysterio, or that might just be another piece of brilliant misdirection. With Mysterio, nothing
mm,
is as it seems. There it
right.
is, right there. Cruel, resourceful, and always willing to hold a grudge. Mysterio has been puzzling Spidey for years. So, that being said, That is Mysterio in a nutshell. This man is willing to go above and beyond and go out of his way just to get on Spider-Man's nerves.
Yeah,
And I'm telling you this right now, he stressed the hell out of Spider-Man. He stressed
yeah,
him out.
and that's the whole thing is that he wants to freak Spider-Man out and really break him down psychologically
Yeah.
because and I think that's the coolest thing about him is you don't know what's real and what's fake and what's reality, and that's what makes him so great. And this movie is a really good case in point for that.
Yo, I'm telling you, it expressed that so much because
Mm,
okay, I was giving it I was getting afraid. I was like, how are they gonna pull this character off? Because I know that we know that Mysterio is very deceptive and
mm,
he you know wants to go out of his way to really make Spider-Man lose his doggone mind, and he almost did. Spider-Man literally almost did in
yeah.
this movie. And like
Mm,
it took him a while for him to bring back, especially the fact that he's a kid. He's still a kid,
yeah.
so that's even more affecting.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. What- I don't I forgot what I was going to say. So I think we should just get into it.
All right,
So
let's go into it.
yeah, that basically that okay, so for those people also that do not know this, that this movie takes place after Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
So in case you haven't seen Endgame, just spoilers ahead anyway. Um so yeah, so basically start off in Mexico with Nick Fury and Agent Hill visiting this site that supposedly has been wrecked by a cyclone, and then this big, uh, I guess you could say, Sandman like figure just appears,
I wouldn't
and
necessarily call him Sandman because
yeah,
I would say it's a like a sand monster, even though
yeah, a
like
sand monster. Yeah, that's the word I was looking
yeah,
for. Yeah,
because Sandman, I don't think has is gonna be introduced in for a while yet. Because the
yeah,
closest we got for him was Spider-Man 3. But yeah,
yeah.
go ahead, continue.
Yeah, and then yeah, basically this big sand monster shows up, and then just out of a puff of smoke, a green smoke, Mysterio shows up, and he's like, "Who the hell are you guys?" And it's like, "You don't want to end any part of this," and just blast some kind of laser rays out of his hands, and then we just cut to black, and then we get the Marvel logo. And over the Marvel logo, they play Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You." And so basically, it cuts to Peter Parker's high school, where on the school monitors they're having this kind of in memoriam montage for, of course, for the Avengers
Who
who
died?
passed away, yeah,
Yeah.
who died during the events of Endgame. And I really also like the fact that they do kind of play around with this fact of like, because they refer to it as the blip because they don't know that it was a snap that caused it.
Yeah.
So so they do play around with that, and they also play around with the fact that now all that people who were 16 and just some people were 16 and they come back, and some of the classmates have just aged and is 21 now.
Yeah,
As
and then there were some people who were like 10 years old or like 13 years old, and of course because of
yeah,
the 5 year span, they come
yeah,
back and they're like 18.
yeah, right. So it definitely plays around with that, and of course we get to finally see Peter talking to Ned about supposedly because they're going on this high school trip across Europe, and and Peter basically has kind of the hots for MJ. So he basically lays out his plan for how he's gonna try to win her over. So, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and Ned is like, okay, you don't forget this point. Maybe you shouldn't do this at all,
Yeah.
uh, because we're gonna be bachelors
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Europe.
yeah. Ned at first had a plan to be a pimp in this,
Yeah,
and try to
yeah,
go overseas and get some
yeah.
girls.
Yeah,
And
not as much a pimp as he would just want to be a player.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Honestly,
mm,
but yeah,
mm,
the also the what's the word I got? Oh yeah, the complaint that that some people have with this is that um they didn't know that Peter all of a sudden had gotten an interest to MJ, and MJ had an interest in him. But if you
Really?
closely pay attention to how
Yeah,
they acted in Homecoming, then you would
yeah,
know that there
and
was a little bit of an interest towards the two of them.
yeah, there was a little something there. I mean, it's kind of hinted at, but it wasn't fully really explored because Peter has much more interest for this other girl, which was Vulture's daughter.
Yeah,
So
and that didn't pan out as much. So
yeah,
he
that didn't end well.
yeah.
Let's just put it away. But yeah, and some people might complain the fact that MJ isn't the MJ per se. That when you hear MJ, you think of Mary Jane Watson. You know this boy, this pearly white girl with the red hair and sassy attitude. I mean, so they have reinvented MJ to be as a different character, but I'm okay with that because she is a lot of fun.
And I'm gonna say,
And
yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say this right now.
yeah,
We have talked before about what was our favorite Spider-Man movie and whatnot. And
mm,
I had told you that the old Spider-Man movies I enjoyed
mm,
very much, but when
mm,
looking at Mary Jane
yeah,
from then and the Mary Jane that we have current and the MJ that we have currently,
yeah, I
I am
prefer this
leaning.
one.
Yeah, I prefer this one. Why? It's because
Yeah,
she's interesting. She is funny in this. She's
yeah,
actually funny. She
yeah,
she has a she has a dope
yeah.
personality. She's not. She's always. And the thing about it is, she doesn't scream all the doggone time.
Yeah,
Cause
and Peter doesn't have to constantly save her.
right. Because
Oh,
cause,
it's
cause
such a relief.
for
Yeah.
for for all the movie for especially you and me, and
Mm,
remember those movies. She was
mm.
constantly in danger. She was constantly screaming.
Yeah.
Especially Spider-Man 1, she whenever she was on screen, she kept screaming, and I'm just like, okay, that's enough
Yeah.
of the screaming. Like, God, that was
Yeah,
part of the
could you
reason why I
please
didn't enjoy
shut
the
up?
movie so much.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, and that was always the weakest points with the original films is the fact that Mary Jane wasn't very interesting, and this version of MJ is a lot more energetic and is a lot, like you said, she's actually funny and has a much more distinct personality. So
plus I'm
yeah,
gonna just say this right now: Zendaya is hot. Okay, I I
yeah,
I, I will take Zendaya over what's her.
Kirsten Dunst any
Yeah,
day.
I
Yeah,
will any
I'll do
day.
that.
Look, listen,
Yeah, hey,
okay.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
But yeah, so Peter Parker has now has his plan to really set this whole thing up to tell MJ how he feels and whatnot, which is very sweet of him to do, because
Yeah.
like, and you can tell that he pays attention to what she likes, what she dislikes, and whatnot.
Mm.
We found out in this one she's into like dark stuff,
Yeah.
and
So
it's like,
yeah,
okay, all right, well, do you and whatnot.
yeah, yeah, and also the fact that Aunt May is staying basically at a homeless shelter or a halfway house because yeah, she got bleeped out. She got bleeped out of existence, and then 5 years later, just immediately showed up again back at her apartment after somebody else had moved in. So
And the thing
so
about it, they all thought she was a ghost and shit. I'm just like,
yeah,
okay, all right,
yeah,
okay.
and yeah, and they basically have fun with that, and of course, Happy shows up, and he clearly has a thing for her. Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And then Peter's like, what is going on? What is this?
yeah, yeah,
What even
and
is this? And you know
yeah,
what? As I think about it now, this stayed true to the video game that we had just gotten for the PS4 Spider-Man. That
right,
Aunt May was always at the homeless shelter.
right,
This
yeah,
stays true to that.
yeah. I didn't think about that, but that's actually kind of true. Yeah,
I just realized that. I honestly just
yeah,
realized that. I was like, holy shit.
yeah, yeah. And so basically, Happy basically tells Peter that Nick Fury's gonna call you, and apparently Peter doesn't want anything to do with that. And he's like, "You do not go ghost Nick Fury," and he does. basically sends him to voicemail.
He hangs up on
Oh,
him like it
yeah,
was no problem. He was like, beep.
yeah. I'll talk to you later.
I'll talk to him later.
Yeah, yeah. And Peter basically goes back out as
And
Spider-Man,
then he
and
gets rushed by the press, and they start asking him all these questions, and then the thought of Iron Man pops up in his head, and they ask him, well, are you gonna be the
yeah,
next Iron Man or whatnot? And you can just see him breaking down and just like he was getting ready to snap at that point,
yeah.
and
Yeah, I
he was
mean,
like, yeah,
he was,
I need to get away. I need to get
yeah,
away.
he absolutely got overwhelmed by it. And what do you expect? He's 16.
Right.
So, and you basically put basically all this responsibility on his shoulders. So, of course, he's gonna freak, and of course, he does. He leaves and just ends up on a rooftop, and you see this big spray painted version of Iron Man
I
right
know,
next.
and I'm just like, oh shit. Well,
Yeah,
and the thing about it is, like he can't even escape from that, cause it's
yeah,
all over this movie. There's so many memorials of Iron Man here and
yeah,
there and there and there. I'm just like, he can't even
yeah.
breathe. He can't even.
Yeah, he can catch a break.
He can't catch a break in this movie. He just couldn't catch a break at all. But then again, that is the life of Spider-Man, where like wherever he goes,
Yeah,
his
there's
life is
always
gonna be
something.
just shit. It's always gonna be something.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that and it does makes you feel bad for him. It honestly does. And he basically then so yeah, he basically goes back home, and he then of course, because it cuts to the next day, where he basically is packing up his stuff to go on the high school trip across Europe. And Aunt May is like, well, maybe you should don't forget your suit. And of course they now finally refer to, it basically gets some kind of reference now to the spider sense as the Peter tingle.
Yeah, I know. I was just
So
like, what the fuck? Come on now, come on. I
yeah,
had to laugh at that. I was like, oh my god, just
yeah,
call it the
yeah.
spider
Don't call
sense.
it the Peter tingle, May.
Good God. I'm just
Yeah,
like, okay. All right.
yeah,
So, yeah, but yeah, we find out that Peter actually, like Rob from Comics Explained said, he's been hiding powers because
yeah,
he hasn't even used his spider sense as of late. In this movie, he finally uses it.
yeah,
Finally, he uses it, and I'm just like, okay, that would have been helpful in the past couple of movies, but he didn't, you know, he didn't have that much control over it, so he didn't really
yeah.
use it as much.
Yeah, and like it also does mention in the film is that he doesn't know how it works yet. So he still hasn't really figured it out. So I mean, so so he definitely does try to work on that. And then of course we they and of course and I really like the fact that they only it's kind of funny that the only reference we have to Uncle Ben is the fact that they have his initials on the suitcase that
I
he's
know.
carrying.
It's like they're trying to avoid
Yeah,
them
avoid the
talking about
origin.
his Uncle Ben, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah,
But that's here and there.
that's
Okay,
here and there.
so
And
they go to the airport and whatnot.
yeah,
Um,
get on the plane, and you see Flash Thompson basically trying to patronize Peter.
as always,
And
and
yeah, and then immediately MJ is like, tells one of the flight attendants that he bleeped he's 16, not 21, because
that was
because
funny. That was
yeah,
so
because
funny because he
yeah,
thought he had it. It's just like, I'll take that.
yeah, and
Wait,
then,
what?
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
even
and the
know
flight
that girl. What's
attendant.
wrong with you?
Yeah, and the flight attendant immediately, because he's having a champagne glass in his hand, is like, "I'll take that." Oh.
But yeah, but then Peter, of course, he gets a little what's the word, anxious and kind of worried because there's this
Yeah,
new kid, what's his name?
yeah, I forgot his name too, but apparently he bleeped. I don't really know how that works,
No,
but
no, no. It wasn't that he bleeped. He stayed. He
yeah, he
stayed
stayed, and he
and grew up. And after 5 years later, he's now this big,
right.
hunky guy, and now every girl wants him.
Yeah, and
MJ is basically just chilling, but in Peter's mind, he's like, oh shit. like he's gonna
Yeah,
take
I
her
need to
away.
find a way to get myself next to her on this plane.
Yes, right.
So, and then the basically tries to come up with something, and yeah, it immediately kind of backfires. That teacher's like, oh,
Like,
because Ned makes up this idea that he has allergy because he has an allergic reaction due to a perfume that the woman in front of them is having on.
and I'm gonna say this right now.
Hmm.
These are by far the worst chaperones to go
Hmm.
on this trip. They are by far the worst
Yeah,
chaperones, the worst adults, the worst teachers to have as chaperones on this trip, because
yeah.
they cannot do one thing right,
Thing right. No,
and they
like
get in the way so much, and I'm just like, yo, what the hell? It
yeah.
even
Who
because
came up? Did they? How did they not get scrutinized? How did they somehow manage to get employed?
how were they allowed to
Fine.
go on this trip with these children? How?
Yeah.
How were they
How?
allowed? How? Because okay. First of all, you got in the scene with this certain teacher with the glasses. I forget what his name is, but it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
instantly thinks that Peter is has allergic reaction, so he goes out of his way to move him
Everybody
next to
around.
Peter, everybody around, move him next to Peter, and then him talk his head off,
Yeah.
and then lean on his shoulder, like snoring and stuff. I'm just like,
Yeah.
yo, what are you doing, guy? And
Yeah.
then after they get off the plane, uh uh he has them be going into this rinky dinky very
Hold.
hotel where there's water all over the floor and
Yeah.
whatnot. The assistant chaperone is no help at all. He's just
Yeah.
he's the regular chaperone that likes to say stuff about things, and it doesn't make any sense. And oh my god, it was just a mess. They were a mess in this movie.
Yeah. They were, and one of the moments that I really did actually kind of like on the plane is. Okay, so Peter goes to the bathroom, and he immediately when he comes out, MJ is standing in line, and he then immediately goes back in to try to clean the place
Yeah,
up for
he
her.
goes out of his way to wipe the toilet seat, get the mirror all shined up for her, have everything all put away, neat and tidy. Then he comes back out,
Yeah,
and then it's that damn guy coming in. He's just like,
yeah,
fuck. He's
yeah,
like,
yeah. And the only thing I could say was like, I know that feeling because I know that kind of awkwardness that where you're just trying too hard to impress. I mean, oh
he
wow.
tries so hard to impress this woman, and then he just get
Yeah,
curved. He gets curved
yeah,
so much in this.
yeah. Oh my. Uh,
But then, of course, we pan over to them going to the hotel or whatnot. Peter goes alone for a bit to buy
yeah, basically
this,
this flower necklace
this
called a
fine
black dahlia,
which
and
was very pretty. It was very
yeah,
pretty and whatnot.
yeah,
He gets it and whatnot. He almost gets caught by MJ. Almost.
yeah, yeah, because he does run into her and basically and have a little bit of a banter with her, and apparently that she picked up this word in Italian which is called bow, which can mean anything. So, and that's when we basically get attacked by a water monster.
Which in this
So
case is labeled as Hydro Man, but it's not really a Hydro Man.
it's
So
not really Hydro Man, and so basically he begins to wreck shit, and Peter basically tells them, listen, we need to get out of here. I left my suit back at the hotel. Just go, just try to
and
clean the
I'm just
streets.
like, yo, why would you leave the suit back at the hotel?
I
Like,
mean,
okay, okay, look. I understand he's a teenager. I get that.
yeah.
But every time when something goes down, Spider-Man always has that suit on. He always keeps that suit on in some way, shape, or form.
Now, to be fair, he is a kid, and I don't think he actually planned the idea that, oh yeah, I need to be Spider-Man on this trip. So, I mean, yeah. So basically, Mysterio then shows up and also tries to battle
Yeah,
battle
yeah,
yeah
the
battle the
whole,
water monster, and he's
yeah,
like, wait, I can help. I'm super strong and I'm sticky. And,
And I'm just like, what?
yeah,
And then he wears this Joker, this
yeah,
jokester
yeah. This
like
operatic
mask and
mask, and it's
whatnot.
like, yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah,
he
and
tried. He
and it
tries to
and
hold
it
up a building, and like he hits his head on this damn bell twice,
yeah. Oh wow, yeah.
and it
And
hurt me
trust
just
me,
looking at that. It hurt me.
yeah, yeah. I felt that too. And when he bumps it, and the thing, I squeamished every single time I saw it. I mean, I've seen it. Like I said, I've seen this movie twice, and every single time those moments where he hits his head on the bell, I'm like, oh, because the sound of it makes you just go, makes you feel like it almost you got a bump. So
Your brains got scrambled while watching that. Right,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I think it will be one of the few times I walk out of the theater with a concussion. That's
Right. Oh my god. But then Mysterio somehow, shape or form subdues the so-called water monster. And everyone is like goes back to the hotel and whatnot. Um,
Yeah, and Flash Thompson is, and they basically are like, whoa, he's like Iron Man and Thor rolled into one, and Flash Thompson is fanboying over that he's no Spider
like
Man.
he's no Spider-Man. Spider-Man can take him. Like he can
Yeah,
beat him up. I was like, okay, Flash, you're fanboy. You love Spider-Man. Okay,
yeah,
all right,
yeah,
all
yeah,
righty.
and then just immediately looks at Peter and he's like, "What's up, Dickwad?"
I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my
Oh,
god. Yeah, but
yeah. Oh, and so then Ned and Peter is at a hotel room, and of course Ned gets tranquilized by Nick Fury, and Nick Fury is sitting there like, "You're difficult to contact." So,
it's like it's so nice to finally meet you, Spider-Man. And then well, the thing that was so funny about the scene is that you could see Fury getting upset. You could see him getting ready to say motherfucker every time somebody answered that doggone door. Cause
yeah,
first the BS chaperone showed up first and started talking that mess. And then a few school of his schoolmates started showing up at the door. Then the
yeah.
other
This is
chaperone showed up at the door, and then he's like, the next person that knocks on that door, I'm gonna put a bullet through the doggone thing.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just
I
like,
mean,
oh.
yeah, because Ned apparently picked up a girlfriend while they were in mid-flight.
Yeah,
So
hold on. We gotta talk about this. So,
yeah,
because of the chaperone switcheroo, Ned gets switched with the girl that was on the school news video tribute to all
yeah.
the Avengers who died, and
Mm.
she automatically, in some way, shape, or form, she automatically starts liking him after seeing Ned playing video games on his laptop,
Yeah,
and
or basically that during the turbulence that Ned kind of had a little bit of a fright and just grabbed her hand.
and grabbed her hand, and
So
then they automatically just decided to be boyfriend and girlfriend. And Peach is looking at him like, "What?"
yeah,
I was like, "How?
yeah,
How?
where did this come from?
Like, where this come from?" It's like, and that just try to play it cool, saying that he's a man now. It's like,
Yeah,
like she's a fully
oh.
strong and empowered woman, and now I'm
And
a
that
man.
boy is now a man.
And that boy, he's our man. He's like, come on, baby. And I'm just like, okay, all right, Ned. Like, this movie made me enjoy Ned so much.
Yeah. Yeah, and but yeah, basically Nick Fury is trying to lay out what's going on with these elemental figures that just appearing all across the world, and like I said, the chaperone knocks on the door, the girlfriend knocks on the door, and then the other chaperone, and Nick Fury is like, if another person touches that door, you and I will attend another funeral.
Right, exactly. I'm just like, oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so,
I honestly wanted him to just say motherfucker that one time. I wanted him to
yeah,
say that one time. That would
sorry.
have been so funny if he had done that. That would have been
Yeah,
so funny.
and then again, it's Sam Jackson, so yeah, it's just natural.
It's natural. It's just natural for him to say that. But yeah,
Yeah,
what?
so yeah, so basically, Nick takes Peter. Peter takes on the Spider-Man costume, and they basically go to a hideout with what is kind of left of Shield, I guess.
Yeah, well, technically, what's the secret left at the Shield? Because of course, and Shield has a series that I think either ended or still going, where
mm,
after the events of Captain America: Civil War. I mean, not Civil
yeah.
War. Winter Soldier. Um,
Mm,
Shield still was going, under radar. They were still on, doing their thing under radar and whatnot. So Shield still exists. It's just that
mm.
that was Nick's portion of Shield agents and whatnot.
Yeah, and so basically meet up with Agent Hill, and that's when Peter is introduced to Mysterio. And he's like, "Wow, Mysterio!" And Mysterio looks at him like, "What?" And he's like, "Ah, nothing. It's just something my friends call you." And and that's when we get kind of the explanation that Quentin Beck is from Earth, just not this one.
And yeah,
And
the thing that was so I loved about this, they actually reference the multiverse. Because
yeah,
the
they
multiverse actually exists in the Marvel comics. Earth 616 is the original Earth that Spider-Man is in.
yeah, it's basically the main Marvel universe, and then everything else is kind of yeah, it's basically like that. So so yeah, he basically is like, well, I am your Earth 616. I'm from Earth 833, I think he said, and
Yeah.
it's like, and it's basically the elemental figures that's showing up. They destroyed my world, so I'm here to save yours.
And then and of course you know what, it was nice to finally see Peter have like what a geek moment where he was just talking about certain
Yeah, he was
like
basically talking about the multiverse theory.
yeah,
So,
and
and
whatnot, and I'm just like, yes, we know. But I would love more of that because for those who don't understand, Peter Parker is not no damn slouch when it comes to intelligence like that. He is
yeah,
very smart,
yeah,
very intelligent. He's very intelligent.
yeah, and I mean, in the comics, Spider-Man is either a respected scientist or a college professor.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so yeah, one of the smarter people when it comes to a scientific standpoint. I mean, it's not like Reed Richards, but he's still very capable on his own.
He's
Uh,
still capable. Of course he's not Reed Richards smart,
yeah.
but he still knows a thing or two about science.
Right, and basically, Mysterio basically lays out, okay, I've defeated all the elementals except for one that is made of fire, and we can have him touch metal. Otherwise, he will just grow more powerful.
And this was basically Molten Man. This was
Yeah,
basically the Mysterio's version of Molten Man, which was
right.
kind of cool. It looked really cool.
Yeah, I'll admit that. And Spider-Man is like, well, this is above my pay grade. Is there not anyone else like Doctor like Thor? No. Captain Marvel? No. Doctor Strange? No. Right.
It's
So
just like, I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Bitch, please, you've been to space.
yeah, that was an act. Oh,
I'm just
yeah,
like,
but
yes, I loved that scene so much.
yeah, and Peter basically lays it all out. It's like, listen, I cannot be shown. Spider-Man cannot show his face in Europe, especially after what happened at the Washington Monument during Homecoming. So, if my classmates see Spider-Man here, they'll figure out who I am.
Which
So,
in hindsight, some a certain someone did,
mm,
the all the way back on when that happened. But we'll talk about that further on.
yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So, Peter basically goes back, and somehow Shield completely reschedules his entire high school trip.
Not only that, they rescheduled the school trip, had him travel to a better hotel,
Yeah.
and gave him a nice chauffeur and everything. And then Peter just looked at it as like, oh crap.
Mm,
And then Ned's just like, what's wrong? It's like, well, Nick Fury just hijacked our whole summer vacation, and that's just
yeah.
like awesome. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I love this. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, and when the school bus stops to refuel, you have Peter Parker basically escorted into this place, and is given another costume, and she is like, try it on, and Peter immediately pulls down his pants to try it on, and that's when the new high school hunk walks in on him, and he's
Yeah,
like, whoa,
and
whoa, it's not what it looks like,
he
and
immediately
he
tries to blackmail, and I'm just like, you bitch, like you fucking asshole, like.
yeah, you're
Cause he
bad.
lets Peter know right off the bat that, like, hey, look, I know you like MJ, but I like her too. Sorry, man, but I'm gonna
I need to show her this.
I need to show her this. And
Oh.
he was like, yeah, you can have your little fling with all these other people. And it's like he immediately wanted to find an excuse
Mm.
to make MJ not be interested in Peter, so that he could be interested in him. That
Mm.
she could be interested in him. And I'm just like, you asshole. That's what people who don't got game do. Okay, I'm telling you
Yeah.
that right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's a punk move.
It's a punk move.
So yeah, and so Peter basically immediately takes on, which, by the way, this is something also Nick Fury gave him, that Tony Stark left his
For Peter.
security system. Yeah, left Peter the security system of Edith to Peter. So Peter immediately takes on the glasses and is like, "Hey, listen, I have this guy in my class," and Edith is like, "I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Is he a threat? Is he a target?"
And yeah,
Yes,
and
he's a
like
target.
Edith takes it the wrong way, and then she sends a drone
Mm.
to snipe him, and I'm just like, no,
Yeah.
and he's like, no, 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 don't do that, and like, and then it's a whole back and forth of like the classmates reacting to what Peter is doing, and Peter just, you know, makes a distraction to
Yeah.
jump him in the air, spider webs the doggone drone so it explodes and whatnot,
Mm.
and it was a close call, and he calls off the whole strike and whatnot, and
Yeah.
tries it again, and mystically, the image that guy had on his phone about Peter, it
Yeah.
immediately gets deleted.
Yeah. It's gone. So, and wow. And it does get referenced that that Nick Fury basically is like, listen, you were given a multi-billion-dollar defense system, and the first thing you do is try to kill your classmates. Oh,
But yeah, but I'm like I was more on the side of Peter, because, like, first of all, that was a mistake. Okay,
yeah,
that was a mistake. I wasn't trying to kill my classmate. I was trying to get that motherfucker to stop
yeah,
doing what he
yeah.
was doing,
I
because
just
that was some
wanted to
shady
have
shit.
a picture gone. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's all I wanted. And but that then freaking Fury, like, he goes on Spider-Man's case so much in this, right, where he's just like saying that he's not prepared to be the next Iron Man. Maybe he's not, like you didn't even want to go on this mission. Well, of course he didn't.
No, you just hijacked him.
You just
That's
hijacked him and assumed that he was ready to just drop everything and do all that. That's not who he is. That's not Peter. He
right.
wanted to relax on his vacation, not save the world again.
Yeah. Yeah, and Mysterio basically tries to give him a little bit of comfort, and tells him basically, there is a part of me that just want to tell you, that wants me to tell you to just run away, and another side of me that is just happy that you're here to help out. So I mean, so there is this kind of nice little, I guess, mentor-student relationship between Mysterio and Peter. So yeah, I
For the
really
time
do.
being. For the time being. I mean, it was
For the
nice to
time
see
being,
that.
yeah,
It was nice to see that, but of course, uh, uh,
yeah,
things happen. But yeah, we go on to the whole thing where they're in this nice little hotel. They're about to go to this carnival, but it got changed because the so-called Molten Man was getting ready to appear over where the carnival was. So they maneuvered it for them to all go to this opera thing,
yeah,
which nobody but a bunch of old people showed up at. And I'm just like,
yeah,
dang,
yeah.
they
For a
making people
4-hour opera.
they
So
making the people think that nobody likes opera except old people. I'm just like, God damn.
yeah, yeah. And then MJ is like, and then MJ tries to basically tell Peter, maybe you want to get a seat next to me, and that's like the I was like, yeah, and of course Nick Fury is like, listen, are you in position? And
And I'm just like, yo, like I'm telling you, in this movie, he could not catch a break
yeah,
as many times as he tried. The opportunity was just sitting there for MJ to just sit with him and for them to just talk and whatnot.
yeah,
That's all
and
he only wanted for him to just talk and tell her how he felt. But of course,
something calls him away. So
yes.
and you could see it like when he looks over to MJ's seat that she has basically holding off for him, and he just has to go.
And then the guy, and then that same day goes and just flips him off, and I'm just like, yo, you. Oh, I wanted to come to that screen to punch him, yo. I
Yeah,
wanted to so bad.
yeah,
Like he actually
yeah,
thought that he was doing. He actually thought that he was doing something. That he was winning and whatnot.
yeah. And then and MJC Peter leaves, and so she leaves, and then Ned and his girlfriend immediately takes off too, because they're like, where are they going? Maybe they're going to the carnival. Yeah, let's go. No? And
And Ned is
Ned of
just like,
course
oh
no, and
shit. He's like
yeah,
he's like
yeah,
crap. And so the fight begins
yeah,
where Mysterio and Spider-Man in his night suit. Oh, by the way,
mm,
they named him Night Monkey.
yeah.
When they saw it in that suit, and,
Ooh.
and Ned and his girl are trapped in this carnival ride, and then
Yeah,
they just try to get his attention. Then she's saying Night Monkey.
help. Yeah, and yeah,
They might have just called him just called it the Night Monkey suit. They might have
yeah,
just said that because that's more funny.
yeah. Yeah, and Peter just looks up, knowing that he has to say them, and he's like, "Are you?" And even though you can't see his face, you can tell that he's like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yes, and then like Mysterio
Yeah,
makes this big old scene where he's like so called using all his power. Molten Man supposedly disappears. Peter notices a little a blurred image that's invisible. He web shoots it. It goes somewhere else, and whatnot. But
yeah,
the whole
and then he pulls something off, and MJ actually finds it,
yeah,
and
and MJ managed to find it while she was so called stalking Peter
Peter,
and whatnot.
yeah,
But yeah, Nick gets on his case again about him not being ready and whatnot. Him and Mysterio had go have a drink, and Peter just basically tells him that he wanted to go on this trip and tell the girl how he felt, and give her a kiss, and just live his doggone life and do all that. He didn't expect to save the world and whatnot. And then
yeah,
he makes the mistake
yeah.
of giving the
He
glasses that
did,
Tony gave him
yeah,
to Mysterio.
yeah,
And oh god, I knew what was coming. I knew what was coming, and like, cause like as soon as Peter steps out of that bar,
yeah.
there
Everything
goes the
dissolves.
illusions. Everything dissolves. The
Yeah,
illusion comes off, and then the stereo is just baking, basking in his victory that he fooled Peter and fooled the entire world, fooled Shield and Nick, so-called Nick Fury, that he
yeah,
that he duped them all, and that he duped him to giving his glasses to him, and
yeah,
whatnot. I'm just like, God damn! Like
yeah.
I knew it was happening. I'm just like, dang.
Yeah, and this is the only scene that I do not like about this movie, because it's such a big exposition dump, and he's like, "You did this, and you did that, and you did that," and I was like, This is the only scene I do not like in this film, because to me it's so heavy-handed with just such a boasting, and to me it almost sounded a bit like Syndrome from The Incredibles. That it's just one guy who was wronged on by Tony Stark, just like everybody else in the room. And yeah, I'm sorry. It's just that one scene is the only thing that kind of bothers me, because it's just him just boasting down what everybody else around has been doing. But yeah, so Peter goes back to the hotel, runs into MJ, because apparently because everybody's panicking, so they're just gonna of course, the parents wants them back home.
Yeah, the vacation
So
got canceled and whatnot, and Peter's like, no, no, like the monster's done. Like, dude, word got around that the monsters were going around. Parents
mm,
got upset. They want them back. They want them back home, and
yeah,
so that happens. Of course, the chaperones are freaking out and stuff,
yeah,
and whatnot. And Peter
yeah,
is just like, you know what? F it. I'm gonna just go ahead and do this now.
yeah.
He
I'm
he
gonna do something else. So he basically asks MJ out, and just basically asks her, maybe you want to do something that is not on the itinerary, and she's like, yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, cool,
like she immediately at the drop of a hat says yes,
yeah,
cause like, and then he's like, okay, well I'll meet you down in 10 minutes, and she's like, I'll meet you down in 5. It's like, oh, oh,
yeah,
oh, okay, all right, but yeah,
yeah,
they go down
yeah, and then
outside
begin.
and whatnot,
Yeah, and she's like,
and
"What do you want to do?" And she's like, "Whatever." And they're like, "Okay," and then just goes for a stroll. And then Peter basically stop. They stop on the bridge, and on this bridge, and he is like, "Listen, I need to want to tell you something that I." And she's like, You're Spider-Man." And he's like, "What? No, I was Spider-Man." You sure? It's kind of obvious.
yeah, and then we go and we further find out that she kind of had suspicion all the way up to Homecoming,
Mm,
when they were in Washington and she saw Spider-Man and do all that, and then Peter automatically disappear, and that makes sense because, for one, if you have a girl who likes
yeah,
you as much as MJ and is going to follow you around on a daily basis, she's gonna know you're missing. She's gonna
yeah.
know that you're not there, and it makes sense in her mind, especially in her mind, that you're
Mm,
gone, and then all of a sudden Spider-Man just shows up out of nowhere.
right.
So
And and she's like, well, if you're not Spider-Man, and of course Peter tries to throw her, just trying to throw her off the scent, and he's like, no, that guy on the news, that was Night Monkey. And remember, the news don't lie.
but yeah,
So
and then
and
he
she
goes. And then he goes to a depressive state, and this kind of broke me. And like you can see on his face, it's like, wait a minute, is the only reason for you following me is because you thought I was Spider-Man? And then MJ,
it's
she's
like,
trying to hide her feelings, and she says yes and whatnot, and it just breaks him. And I'm just like,
yeah, it broke my heart too, because you could tell that she was a little more interested in him than just that.
yeah. And because she was afraid to show him her feelings, he automatically assumes that she doesn't even like him like that.
Yeah. And
So
so she shows the projector that has the webbing on it,
by an
accidentally
accident,
drops it.
and
Hmm?
then you just see like the projection and whatnot, and Peter picks it up and puts two and two together, and he just automatically just tells her, "I'm Spider-Man," and she's like, "Really? For real?"
Re-
And she's like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm Spider-Man. We need to do something about this
Yeah,
right now."
we need to go now. And he immediately takes her, goes back to the hotel, and is basically, I need to find Nick Fury, and I need to tell him what's going on. And immediately begins to strip down right in front of her.
And right in front of her,
Sure.
and she's just like, uh,
Oh, okay. I'll just.
to turn around, but she gets like a little sneak peek.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we see that Ned is standing in the hallway, in
And
the
he's just
doorway.
looking at the suit like, what is going on?
Yeah, and he's like, "Ah, nice costume for the party," and Peter's like, "She knows." Yeah, and she's like, "Well, I kind of figured it out." So
I gotta figure it out. It's like, oh, cool, and whatnot. And Peter goes out the door. Ned is like, oh, so now you know too, huh?
yeah, I know the longest.
I know the
It's not
longest.
a
It's
yeah,
not a contest
it's not
or
a
anything.
yeah,
It was so fun. That was so funny. That was so
yeah,
doggone funny. But
yeah,
yeah,
and
he manages to get on a train,
to
go to
Berlin,
Germany.
yeah, and he meets up with Nick Fury, or Nick Fury in quotations, and
Yeah,
he
and
and basically lays out, okay, Nick Fury is just a con man, and he has been using projections to stage all the damage and all the stuff to make him look like a hero.
yeah,
And
and as soon as he says that, um,
he's like, he's here. And then you see immediately everything in it's basically just an abandoned building, and you just see everything just dissolves.
And the illusions all dissolve, and then we see this sequence of Mysterio and the illusions, and I'm just like, that was the most, like, it was scary, but it was the
Yeah.
most beautiful thing that I saw. I was like, yes, they did this right. I was like, they actually did this right, because my friend, my other friend
Yeah.
who went to the movies with me to see this, he
Yeah.
mentioned that this referenced a scene to where in like the actual comics where Spider-Man was facing Mysterio, and he made it seem like he was small and whatnot. They actually did this right, and with the illusions, I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah, and the action sequence in this is really trippy. Because you see things just, things gets bigger, things get smaller, and he tries, it seems like he's gonna punch Mysterio, and then he hits a column on the building,
Yeah.
and everything he's falling, he's standing. It's just one big MC Escher painting where everything is just up is down and down is up all the way around.
He thinks MJ's right there. He falls for her, and he hits the ground. And then you see a graveyard, and then like a zombie like Iron Man pops out the ground, and him chasing him, and like he turns into dust, and what wasn't even there. I'm just like, yo, it was so cool to see that. And then finally the illusions stop and whatnot. The so-called Nick Fury comes to him in like a battered state. It wasn't even Nick Fury. It was Mysterio himself disguised as Nick Fury. And like,
and he basically asks Peter, have you told anyone else? And he's like, well, MJ, Ned, and maybe Ed has told his girlfriend. I don't know. And then you just hear Nick say, "You're so gullible," and immediately after that is getting hit by a train.
Yeah, I'm just like, holy crap! Oh my god! That whole scene was just. It had me. It honestly had me. I went from scared to angry to sad to shocked. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, that scene really does hit you like a train, no pun intended. So yeah, and and then Peter just wakes up in a holding facility in Holland.
And I'm gonna let you know this right now. I don't know how he could have survived that. How did he survive a train hitting him like that, and him coming out of the tracks while the train is still in motion, and getting into the train car, and him just passing out? I was disbelieved. Like, how is he still up? How is he alive? How?
Yeah.
That train hit him.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I don't know either, but man, but basically he wakes up in Holland, he breaks out and finds a guy with a cell phone, calls Happy and basically meets up with him, and of course Happy does kind of stitch him up, and you can tell that Peter is absolutely distraught by what has happened.
Oh no, he's not just distraught. He's like he's at the edge. He is just.
He's broken.
He's broken. He's at the point where he's angry and sad at the fact that he just told the person who he trusted where his friends are, and now he's getting ready to kill them.
Right.
He put the illusions on him so much that he thought Happy was an illusion.
Yeah.
Like that hit me. I'm just like, oh crap! Like this is serious. Like they got this villain right. They got Mysterio right in this.
Yeah, they really did. And then Happy's like, okay, what you gonna do? And Peter's like, I'm gonna kick his ass. No, really, what are we gonna do? Because we've been in this jet, hovering over this big tulip field for the past 15 minutes. So they basically, and so Peter's like, well, and then we can do this, we can do that, and it ends up just looking up Flash Thompson, of course, live streaming from London. Okay, so we go to London, and then, okay, I'm going to need a new suit. And Happy's like, new suit? I got that covered.
Yeah, and then we see a reference to all the little other suits that comic books and video game wise and all that, and then we just see Spider-Man again using his intelligence and making his
Yeah,
own suit, basically
yeah,
like as a trope to like how Iron Man did his own stuff and whatnot.
yeah, yeah. And you can tell that there is a bit of a reference to Iron Man when Peter basically takes out his hand over this hologram and he's holding it like you kind of like like how Iron Man used to figure out his repulsor blast. So he does the same thing with his web shooters. So and he just looks at Happy and he's like, "What?" And it's like, "Nothing. I'll just fix the music," and then puts on ACDC. And Peter's like, "I love Led Zeppelin."
It was like
So,
yes, yes.
yeah. Oh, but yeah, that is so great. And then when we cut to London with the classmates, and they're like, and Hung and the big doofus is like, hey, haven't you noticed anything special about Peter?
Yeah.
And
He tries to put the whole thing on back on Peter again to make everybody to be suspicious about him and not even like him. Have MJ be all angry at him and whatnot. It backfires on him like a heartbeat because she immediately says, uh,
why do
so
you take pictures of people in the bathroom?
yeah, why
And
do you take a picture of people going to the bathroom, dude? Like what's up with that?
yeah,
And then he's
he's
like, no, it's not even like that.
yeah, and one of the chaperones is like, just I'm gonna be friendly with you right now. Stop doing that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
weird.
I'm gonna stop being a teacher right now. Stop doing that, man. That's messed up.
Mm,
Like you shouldn't be doing that, man,
mm.
at all. And he's lost for words. He's like, what? I don't understand. What did I do? It's like, man, like, bro, get out of my face. But yeah, they get on another bus, which one of Mysterio's henchmen um, set up and whatnot. They send them over to where the bridge is so that they can get sniped
Mm.
by one of the drones. Where Mysterio has everything set up. He's basically on in like the walking way of the bridge, just standing there in his animated
And
digital art suit and whatnot.
yeah, he's just in a mocap suit, and he just basically is like, okay, get my costume ready because if I'm gonna be the next Iron Man, I need to save the world from an Avenger level threat. So you just have my costume ready. So
And then and
and
then he and then they simulate like all the elemental monsters all in one and combine and all that. And then he tries to make it seem like to make Nick Fury buy that all the monsters came back and they're all fused into one and whatnot. And Nick Fury
yeah,
just looks back and like, now that's a bunch of bullshit.
yeah,
Like that made me laugh. Like yeah, it is a bunch of bullshit. Cause how can they all be dead and then all of a sudden they come back and they combine into one?
yeah. So yeah, and so Peter basically then goes into the middle of this big mass cast illusion and just webs every drone up and EMPs the heck out of all of them. So the illusion comes down and Mysterio is basically like, you know what? Fine, I'm gonna kill him myself.
Right. And also, I want to point out that the web swinging in this is really. I love the web swinging in this. I
Yeah.
honestly did.
So did I. That is definitely one thing that has improved from Homecoming is the action sequences for Spider-Man in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
so yeah, I definitely really did like that EMP and just ends up in this big massive hallway and he's like, give me back the glasses, and of course Mysterio is like you want them, come and get them, and just see this massive pile of drones.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they try to create that illusion again, and of course Peter's not falling for that shit the second time,
Yeah, and this
and
time he gets to use this Peter Tinkle, so yeah, so
and
he
he's like, "Come on, Peter Tingle," and whatnot. And I want you to know, when he used this, not a single bullet hit him.
hit him, yeah. And instead Mysterio got hit, but of course Peter doesn't fall for that, and immediately catches Mysterio's arm with a gun in his hand. So, is immediately stopped.
Yep, immediate and whatnot, and after that, well, of course, the sequence with Happy and all that was very funny too.
Yeah,
Um,
right. Oh, yeah. When Happy is basically trying to save, MJ, Ned, Betty, and Flash, and they basically it's like, and he's like, listen, I work with Spider-Man. You work for Spider-Man. I work with Spider-Man, not for him. And
and
they
then the jet
run.
gets blown up, and Happy's like, "New plan, go to the
Yeah,
tower,
yeah. Go,
go to the tower, and whatnot."
yeah.
And
Go to
and
Tower of London and hide in there. And so
and then
he,
Flash trying to make it seem like we're all gonna die, and then Happy makes him realize that, hey, if it weren't for your live stream, Spider-Man would have never known
where you were.
where you were. And it's like, and he's like, Spider-Man follows me, and he's like, yes, Flash, yes,
Yeah.
yes, he follows you for the love of God, and what?
Yeah, and I also love the fact that Happy tried to throw this metal shield, and he's like, "How does Cap do it?"
And I'm just like, what the freak? He completely missed. I'm just like, happy. Come on now, come on, man. MJ did better than you. With the doggone malice.
Yeah,
And then they had their own little confessions before they supposedly die and whatnot. And Happy goes on to say that I'm in love with Spider-Man's aunt. I'm just, oh.
and everybody's like, "Huh? What are you talking?"
Like, what are you talking about? It's just like, Happy was funny as shit in this.
Yeah. Oh
But
man.
after all
Yeah.
that happens, and Mysterio gets thwarted and whatnot and stopped, and
Yeah.
also I don't believe Mysterio's dead. He's not dead.
Me neither.
There's no
No.
way he's dead and
No,
whatnot.
looks can be deceiving.
Looks
So,
can be deceiving.
and especially with Mysterio, you don't know what's fake and what's real. So I'm not buying it either. And besides, I want my Sinister Six to have Mysterio in it. So
Same here, cause
Yeah.
look, okay, we now have we got
we got
Vulture,
we got Shocker, we got Scorpion.
we got Shocker, we got Scorpion. Scorpion is in jail for right now. They reference Scorpion, and now we got Mysterio. That's 4.
Yeah.
All they
Yeah,
gotta
so
do is
we-
put in Kingpin and
Yeah, we could put in Rhino or Doc Ock.
either
I
one of
spe-
them. Sends the
Yeah.
6. Either
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
That would be
So-
dope. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Oh my god. And to be honest with you, Rhino is just another basic white collar criminal who just just is a burglar. So that
Yeah.
fits. That could fit right along in there with Vulture.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That works.
That works. So yeah, so then, okay, of course, Peter defeats him, and Happy is like, Spider-Man is gonna call you, and Nick is like, he better.
He's like, yeah, he better. And of course, MJ and Peter finally had their moments and whatnot.
Yeah.
And
Finally
everything.
had a moment, had their kiss that was kind of awkward, but it's high school, so I get it.
It's high school.
So, yeah,
It's high school.
yeah.
But yeah,
So-
after all that, and Peter's off to do whatever, we pan over to a discussion with of him just talking, and he's basically said that I don't want to be lied to anymore. And this was after they all went off the plane, and MJ
Yeah,
and Peter were holding hands and shit. But
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
they,
and also Ned and his girlfriend broke up.
and then they
So-
magically broke up. It's like, yeah, we kind of figured it was a one-time thing.
Yeah, it was a fling. So and of course Peter is back in New York. He's sitting down and he's like, "Okay, okay, the two of you need to tell me the truth. Are you dating?"
He's like,
And
"Are y'all dating?"
He even cuts to Aunt May and Happy, and and Aunt May's like, "No," and Happy's like, "Yeah, well."
It's like, yeah, I mean,
It's
it was leading to something. As like, it was just a fling and whatnot. I'm just like, oh, okay, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm just like, y'all figure that out. Y'all figure that out.
Yeah, and you can tell that Peter gets uncomfortable with this, and he's like, I got a date, so I need to go now."
Yeah,
So-
and then he goes to the city and whatnot, and he meets up with MJ, and for the first time, she goes on a little web swing date with him, which was very funny because she is screaming.
Yeah, screaming like crazy, and I get it because I would have done the same thing because she's not used to swinging in that kind of height. So
Yeah. Now, hold on. Now, okay, that's the so-called end of the movie. But we need to talk about these two
Oh yeah,
post credits.
trust
We
me.
need to talk about
I
this,
Yeah, I have tried to contain myself for this for such a long time. So, and I'm giddy to get into this.
bruh. Okay,
So,
I'm gonna let you go ahead. Pop off, bruh. Pop
yeah,
off.
I'll pop this. Okay. So, the first we get into two post credit scene. First, the mid credit scene. Okay. So Peter and just just are swinging through the city, and he lands with MJ, and MJ is like, and Peter is like, "Are you okay?" And MJ is like, yeah, let's not do that again.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and of course, Peter then swings back up, and he lands on
On like a
basically
lamppost or whatever.
yeah, a lamppost, and then we cut to basically to this big monitor on in the middle of Madison Square, and where they basically are talking about Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio, is dead, and it tries to be portrayed as if Peter Parker, or rather, if Spider-Man did it, and you see this video, definitely created by Mysterio to make it look like that,
Yeah,
where he's
yeah. And
basically saying, "Listen,
I'm gonna let you know this
Spider-Man."
right now. One of his lackeys did that.
Yeah.
Save the video and try to edit it, make it seem like Spider-Man was trying to kill people and whatnot. And then it refers to the Daily Bugle, and
Yeah.
oh, my man, the
J.
guy,
Jonah Jameson.
the guy
Yeah.
who hates Spider-Man so much, J. Jonah Jameson.
And it's none other than J.K. Simmons who played him in the original Spider-Man
The
movies.
man himself.
He's back. He is back. Oh, trust me, I could not move. I didn't know how to respond to that. Usually, either I have a joyous reaction or I'm sad or something. This one just shocked me, where I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I was shocked, and I'm just like, what? What?
Yeah.
What? And then they show his identity. Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and I'm just like,
What? No,
oh.
no.
Wait a minute. And I'm just like, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. I wasn't ready for this.
Me neither. Like,
I wasn't ready for this.
yeah, how do you cope with that?
How do you?
Oh,
This changes everything.
yeah,
This changes everything, man.
it does.
Oh my god. But then it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. Okay,
Yeah, and then
so a lot of people are confused about this. They're confused about what they just saw. I'm not. I was so excited because I already know what's coming next. I know what's coming next. So
and then
we cut
and then
to the so-called, my bad. We cut to the so-called Nick Fury and
Agent Hill.
Agent Hill. They're
Yeah,
in the car, and about like 2 minutes in, they revert to the Skrull couple from the Miss Marvel movie. The main human Skrull and then his wife. This whole time they were Skrulls, and she's like, at some point you're gonna have to tell him, because she
Yeah.
just popped off, and there's little that we can do. So he goes and calls the real Nick Fury,
yeah. Who's still on the space station from Captain Marvel?
and not even that. They make it think like he's in like on an island somewhere. No,
Yeah.
it's a whole little mirage of him just sitting, and then he comes out of the mirage little capsule thing, and we see a whole bunch of Skrulls walking around just doing work, and he's like, "Let's get back to work." And
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Has anyone seen my shoes?
and I'm just like,
Oh,
yo, there's only one thing that can happen with this. It's Sword. It's Sword. Okay, for
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, SHIELD is like the main secret agent organization for patrolling Earth. What do you think is the opposite of that? Sword, where they basically patrol is a secret agent patrol a department for space, for intergalactic entities, for space itself.
Yeah.
Dude, I oh my god. And then like the word just came to me. As soon as I saw it, I was like, sword. It's sword.
Right. It is sword. So
My
and then
mind went elsewhere. I want you to know my mind went elsewhere because like there's so many things that they can do with this.
yeah, trust me, I was still discombobulated by the fact that we got the original Jameson back. So
Not only that, but now we get sword. Now we get to have sword in this, and I'm just like, yo, bruh.
yep.
I was so happy. I was so happy. A big grin was on my face after
Yeah.
I popped out that came out of that movie theater. And because of that, I want to let you know this movie is 9 out of 10 for me. For me, it's 9 out of 10.
It's 9 out of 10 for me too. So trust me, this was a lot of fun, and especially the mid credit scene is probably my favorite in the entire MCU. So and the movie does kind of close out with a little bit of a pitch in sort of a tribute to Steve Ditko and to Stan the Man Lee.
Yeah,
Of course.
honestly, I was gonna let you know that when I went to go see Avengers Endgame for the second time,
Yeah.
you know what they're re-releasing,
Mhm.
they had showed a tribute to Stan Lee, and I almost teared up. I
Yeah.
want you to know, I almost teared up, and like I told Daniel this before, Stan Lee literally made me a true believer.
Yeah, he
Like
did that for a lot of us.
he literally
And
did. Like after that fact, you know that whole thing, I had actually bought some more comics, and
Yeah.
it was mainly about my favorite character Ben Reilly.
Yeah.
And I'm actually planning on buying more Marvel comics,
Mm.
for that. But yeah, that tribute made me actually tear up. I was in tears. I was kind of in tears. I was just like, I'm gonna miss this dude.
Yeah, and so will I. I mean, the thing is, I think a lot of people have thought, Stan Lee cameos has been kind of gratuitous to the Marvel films, but now that he's gone, I really do miss them. So,
Like
yeah,
no one will understand. Like, okay,
yeah,
we've had our ups and downs with a lot of these Marvel movies, a lot for the
yeah,
MCU, a lot for like the X-Men movies. But the truth about it is, and you can go back and look at it. Stan Lee has been in every single Marvel movie,
yeah,
other than this
and
one. Other than this one.
yeah, because sadly he didn't live to do it. So, yeah. And to me, it would have been a perfect place to go out. If he had managed to get a cameo in for Spider-Man Far From Home, it would have been the perfect note to go out on, because Spider-Man was his favorite character. So
It really was. It was his favorite character, which
yeah,
it didn't surprise me when I saw Stan Lee in the Into the Spider-Verse movie.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
didn't think they were going to do it, but then they did it, and I'm just like, okay,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, this movie was a lot of fun, and lot of ups and downs, lot of laughs,
I
and a
want to.
lot of
It gave me a lot of what I wanted. I wanted to see Mysterio shine in this, and they did. I wanted to see Spider-Man get more into his intelligence and more into his spider sense, and they did that. I wanted
yeah.
to see MJ have a developing character, and they did that.
Yeah, it delivered on all the elements that you wanted to deliver on.
It
So
delivered a lot, man, and especially look. It was an icing on the cake that we got J. Jonah Jameson, the
yeah,
actor.
trust me, and it's a surprise that nobody saw coming.
That was like little sprinkles, that the topping, the cherry on the cake, man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when I saw it, I thought I was in the Twilight Zone.
Me too. I like
Yeah.
what? Huh? Wait a minute. Wait just 1 minute.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, but yeah, this movie is great, and another great addition to the MCU. It's good. It's Marvel good, and that is kind of the problem because Marvel spoils the hell out of us.
They do. They
So
honestly do. They
yeah,
do so
yeah, because
much.
yeah, so it's like when I say the movie, it's good. I mean, it doesn't. I think when it comes to the MCU, it doesn't have much validity to it because it's like, yeah,
Yeah, that's what we do at this point. This is what they do. Like
yeah,
if you don't understand, there's something is going on with you, buddy. Like
yeah,
ain't nothing wrong with us.
yeah. We got this covered. Yeah,
Because like, bruh, like they obviously let us know that they can do whatever they want. They can do
yeah,
literally whatever they want.
yeah. They can do whatever they want, and so it's going to be exciting for what they got in store for us in the future. I mean, most likely it's going to be the Black Widow movie that is currently is filming. So we'll see.
And look, y'all already know why we're going to watch that. So I don't even need to give y'all an
Yeah,
explanation as to why.
yeah,
Okay?
we, yeah, and but just in case somebody's wondering, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
That,
Scarlett Johansson.
that,
Duh.
yeah, that's all you need.
That's why everybody went to go see Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah,
And that
it's
other
because of
movie
your
that she was
beloved
in.
Scarlett.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
She's hot.
yeah. I mean, she's beautiful. She's not hot. She's beautiful. She's a woman, not a cup of tea.
Listen,
So,
listen.
yeah.
She's a cup of tea with the sugar and the cookies. Okay, I'm gonna say that right now. I will
Okay.
say that. I will say that right now. And Zendaya, she's right
Yeah.
along with that.
Yeah, she is. But if you had to choose, no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Man, Dick, you put me in a rock in a hard place, man. That
Yeah.
God damn. What? I don't know. I can't choose. What? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Yeah. No, and in that, let's just end it on this.
yeah,
That
leave. I'm
just go
gonna
and
leave
see
to
it.
my
Just go.
thoughts. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. leave that to my thoughts. But other than that, let us know what y'all thought about this movie. If you have not gone to see this, please go see this. And if you haven't even watched Endgame, what are y'all
Go and
doing?
see that too.
What
Yeah.
are y'all doing? Like, come on. Don't be that type of person and then go see Spider-Man Far From Home and then not understand the references from Endgame. Okay, go see Endgame. Make sure it passes Avatar, and then have Disney slash Marvel son be the king of all of the
Yeah.
so-called movies.
Yeah.
We're getting up out of here, y'all.
Yeah. We
Peace.
gotta get up out of here. Jeez.